Jeremy, of course, this is widely seen as a dramatic overreach, verging on political suicide. These are your words. Can he survive this? I think many are already answering that question, but is it that easy in South Korea? Can you just walk us through the process that you see unfolding in South Korea in the weeks to come?
Sure. When we wrote that note, he hadn't walked back martial law. We thought he was going to imminently, and he subsequently did do that. His party, the PPP, controls roughly 108 of the seats in the 300-seat National Assembly. The opposition needs 200 to impeach him and remove him from office. So they're within spitting distance prior to this latest announcement. I think it's telling that of the 190 members who met in this emergency session a few hours ago and basically overturned the martial law decree, that there were 18 members of the ruling party, and they unanimously voted against it. So he's lost the support of his party. He's lost the support of the party leadership, and that removes any remaining base or constituency that he had to begin with. And this is a president who, frankly, had a 25% approval rating prior to doing this. So pressure is going to build on him, and we think it's only a matter of days, if not weeks.
Going back to your note, though, published, I know that before he walked back on this, but you say this is a short-term, neutral, but negative long-term. Do you still stand by those trajectories, and why is it negative long-term if that's the case?
So I would say we would revise probably if in the coming days our short-term trajectory and potentially consider a downgrade. I think long-term it's negative for both structural reasons that are long-standing, a bleak demographic picture, for example, mounting U.S.-China tensions, applying pressure to the sort of Korean economy longer term. I also think that this latest development augurs poorly for Korea's political system going forward, even with the removal of Yoon from office. His most likely successor or replacement would be Lee Jae-myung, who leads the opposition party, but he's probably the second most unpopular politician in South Korea and reviled by a wide section of the right, of the conservatives in South Korea. So this political gridlock doesn't seem like it's going to abate any time in the future. And so I think the long-term trajectory of South Korea is troublesome.
Mandy jumping in here, Jeremy. So, I mean, the president was already an unpopular and lame duck president because the opposition holds a majority in parliament. So while we've got this gridlock that you're talking about, what happens to the economy? What happens to next year's budget?
Well, so next year's budget is being hammered out right now, and that's one of the proximate causes for, I think, Yoon's frustration, right? A sort of railroading effort by the opposition party over the weekend to starve the presidential office and some of the offices that report to him of crucial revenue for next year, which for Yoon, I think, was crossed the Rubicon a bit in terms of political maneuvers, and if anything, was one of the reasons why he was willing to escalate a bit and to declare martial law. So I think that budget will be passed by the end of the month, mostly because the opposition party controls an absolute majority in the National Assembly, and so they will be able to get enough yeses on this. And Yoon, if he's still even in the presidential office at that point, it will be in his interest to sign it as well. Longer term, however, I think that the economic headwinds are going to mount, and I think that honestly, the turn from a pro-markets, pro-U.S. president to potentially the leader of the opposition party, Lee, is going to be negative for markets and negative for the fiscal outlook for the country.